Welcome back, and it's time now for our community update. And joining us in studio this morning is Appleton Police Chief Todd Thomas. Thanks for joining us.
Morning.
Now, January is Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Human trafficking comes in a lot of different forms.
Yeah, human trafficking, a lot of people consider, maybe sex trafficking of minors and females is the majority of human trafficking, but it's using force or threats or coercion or building a relationship using manipulation to take advantage of vulnerable boys and girls and adults. And it's occurring in every county. It's occurring in most municipalities at different degrees. So it's the month that we take the time to talk about this issue and make sure we get it out there in people's minds so they're aware of it.
So obviously it's a problem in our area. What are some of the risks and the signs of human trafficking, and how can you stop it?
Yeah, if you've got, the predators tend to target vulnerable people, so a lot of runaways, children that might have family issues, substance abuse issues. So if you look for people that are vulnerable, that are maybe quiet, pulling away from their family and friends, maybe they have money, they can't explain where they got it from, or they're trying to hide a relationship, those are all kind of signs where you want to dig a little deeper and ask some more questions.
And so then you go to police if you think, obviously.
Yes, you can call the police. There's a lot of websites you can go to if you want to report it anonymously, but definitely talk to somebody because you don't want to ignore those clues and then have something tragic happen.
And now there is a documentary that's playing on Zoom. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's called It Happens Here. It's on our Facebook page if you want to link to it. There's several days coming up. It's a 45-minute documentary. So it's not long, but it's testimonials. It talks about human trafficking and sex trafficking of our kids in Wisconsin. So it's a pretty impactful video.
So is it a problem here? People think in smaller rural communities, in smaller towns, it's not.
No, it's happening in every county. It's happening in every city, like I mentioned, to different degrees. So it's something that we need the public to, we talk about, see something, say something. This is one of those issues where we need people to call us about.
And so switching things up a bit, you also saw a dramatic increase in mental health related calls over the last year. So how much of an increase did you see, and why do you think that was?
Yeah, we talked about this. Pandemic will be about 2 years in March that we've had it here in Wisconsin. And we talked about our children being sponges a couple years ago and the shadow pandemic, and it really has come to fruition. You just did a story on inflation in the economy, and that is really hurting people also. So we have a lot of these things layered on top of each other. We've seen a 72% increase just in 1 year in the number of mental health calls. So we are working with community partners. We've got programs in place. We continue to push out resources. Really is something that should be frightening, and we really need to pay more attention to. Really need to build up resiliency in our kids. And teach them that they can handle this issue, teach them to be not fearful but be smart during difficult times like this.
Now, switching gears, you're seeing a spike in traffic offenses.
Yeah, this is something nationwide. It started with the pandemic, and we've had fluctuations of this in the last several decades where it's cyclical. Reckless driving complaints, we have cruising clubs, and like I said, not just Appleton, but all over the place. So we've seen a significant increase in that. We've focused a lot of attention on that. Our citations and warnings, traffic stop numbers have increased dramatically, and that's something we're going to focus on this summer.
And what about weapons offenses?
Really haven't seen an increase in Appleton, thankfully. It's been pretty steady. We're lucky we've got a lot of good resources. What we know is if we don't get on top of these issues quickly when they happen, there's going to be retribution and revenge violence. So we want to prevent that revenge violence by getting on it right away, identifying who's involved in it, and shutting it down. So we've been happy with how that's worked out for us.
Now it is Toy Ride-Along time again. Explain the program and why it's so important.
This is fun. Toy Ride-Along. So we've got a program that we do with Park and Rec Department, and we put it out there about a month ago asking kids to send us their toys. They will send us their toys with the name, and we will take their toy on a ride-along. So it'll spend a day with an officer. We'll take pictures like you see, and then when we're done, we'll send the child a little card with how their toy spent the day and some pictures.
Aww.
And
if they
really great feedback. Yeah, it filled up when we put it out there taking registrations and names. It filled up within a couple hours, so it's very popular program. Our officers have a lot of fun with it. We put I think we took Buzz Lightyear, and we put him up in the drone and did some video for the child. So
Oh,
a lot of really
wow.
cool stuff. Yeah.
Very cool, and they get the toy back.
They get the toy back, yes.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today,
Thank
Chief.
you.
All right, outside in Appleton right now, looks a little drizzly on our sky cam. So clouds, drizzle out there as the morning starts. 23 degrees, 8 o'clock. 28 at noon, into the low 30s. We'll talk about some evening flakes and lake effect snow tomorrow, right after this.